On September 16th, the International Monetary Fund will hold online consultations with the Russian authorities, and on October 1st, representatives of this organization will come to Russia for further negotiations. This is reported on the fund's website. Plans to resume cooperation with the aggressor country have alarmed Kyiv's allies in the EU. The finance ministers of Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia, Finland, Sweden, Iceland, Denmark, Norway and Poland sent a letter to the IMF asking it not to resume cooperation with Russia.
We urge all international financial institutions, including the IMF and its management, to continue refraining from the activities involving the aggressor state and not to resume dialogue as long as Russia continues its war of aggression against Ukraine, from the letter from EU finance ministers to the IMF.
The International Monetary Fund justifies its decision by Article 4 of the organization's contract, which obligates it to collect data from all IMF members. It also explains the time chosen for the resumption of cooperation. They say that the economic situation in Russia has stabilized since February 2022.
Since the invasion of Ukraine, the economic situation has been exceptionally unstable, which has made Article 4 conciliations difficult, particularly when discussing the outlook and policy framework for the near and medium term. Now that the economic situation has become more stable, Article 4 conciliations with Russia are resuming in line with both the fund's and the member countries' commitments. Julia Kozak, director of IMF Communications Department, at the press briefing.
Russia is allegedly not going to go beyond just providing information to the IMF. In May, Russia's former representative in this organization, Alexei Mozhin, said that Moscow did not need loans from the International Monetary Fund. Experts believe that Russia's interest in resuming work with the IMF lies primarily in spreading false information about the state of its economy.
They usually use information from countries, but they have no additional sources of cross-checking it. This is where Russia has an opportunity to use the IMF to deliver misinformation. So the IMF is just a transporter of fake information about the state of the Russian economy. It is important for Russia to show that it is not afraid of sanctions, that everything is fine, and that it is ready to fight without end. But in reality, it's not even close to the truth, and I'm absolutely convinced that the real economic situation in Russia is much worse than the Russian authorities are demonstrating.
In addition, analysts name another negative aspect of the resumption of IMF's work with Russia. After all, this may become a precedent for Moscow's cooperation with international organizations. The National Bank of Ukraine stressed that it was unacceptable for one of the largest financial institutions in the world to contribute to the aggressor country's exit from international isolation. In their appeal to the IMF, finance ministers of 9 EU countries also said that fund would suffer reputational damage from cooperation with Russia. Reported by Anastasia Tarnavska, Andriy Dmitrenko, UATV News.